Welcome to episode 7. What is happening? We are moving and just getting these episodes out here. We are healing. We're setting boundaries. We are telling it how it is because, let's be honest, somebody has to do it. So we're going to jump right into today's episode. We are going to be covering legacy. And so this is the thing. I just came back from a women's conference, and I knew I didn't record an episode this week because I knew that regardless of what the conference was covering or whatever, I knew that there would be some gems dropped and I was going to catch every single one of them. And I absolutely did. This is not something that I think about often, but I now know that this is something that I should be thinking about often. So I will say, anyone who's listening, if you've never been to a Desperate for Jesus conference in Dallas, I would definitely recommend it. I am full. When I tell you full, emotionally, spiritually, mentally full, I am full. And so I will say, I just want to give you guys a little bit of context as to why maybe I'm looking over. I'm in my apartment complex, so there's someone just looking at me while I'm recording, but it's okay because I'm going to get what I need to say out regardless. But either way. And so if you've never been to a conference like that, it is very, very fulfilling. It is almost like your confirmation of what you're doing or what you need to do better and just to keep going. So I definitely love going. It was great fellowship. I went with my church. So the women of my church, it was so many of us, different ages, different ways of living. We all love God, but getting that many women in one place, if you know, you know, okay? But it was great. It was no regrets, no complaints. It was 10 out of 10. But we're going to jump right into the episode. Today, I'm going to stay on task. But I will say I may get sidetracked a little bit because this is big. And I think that I absolutely needed to be in that space at the conference because this is truly not something that we think about. I'm 36. I don't ever think I've thought about what legacy I'm leaving behind. I've thought about my will. I've thought about life insurance, just stuff like that. But I've never truly sat and thought, what am I leaving my children behind? What am I leaving my children with? Not quite sure how I'm supposed to say that, but either way, what am I leaving behind? And not necessarily just my children, anyone that I'm leaving behind. If God forbid, I go before my kids, or if I go before my spouse or relatives, whoever I'm leaving behind, I've never thought about that. And I think it's important. I know it's important. The confirmation I received this weekend, it's important. So we'll just jump in. You guys know that I have to stay on task because I would just ramble. So I have my notes here. So when you think of the word legacy generally refers to something of value handed down from the past or the impact a person or organization leaves behind. It's not just about possessions or money, but also about the lasting memory, influence, and values that remain after someone is gone. Seriously. Because the problem is that I don't think that I've ever thought about that. My legacy is not just if I'm leaving money behind. It's literally what I'm doing day to day, showing, living. This is how I want to be remembered. I don't have to just tell somebody, hey, I want you to remember me like this, please. It's how we're treating people. It's how we are handling life. It's how do our kids see us doing the day-to-day? How do our kids see us treat people? How do our kids see us praise him in church, praise him out of church? Listen, it is big. It is everything all included. And I think that that's forgotten. I myself forget it often because sometimes life is just too fast. And sometimes we just need to slow it down to get to a point where it's like, oh, wait a minute. I don't even have control over this. My life is going to be what it's going to be because he said so. However, there are going to be signs. He's going to lead you to where you need to go. Now, whether you accept it, whether you get, that's on you. I'm learning that as well. So I'm going to take this time and just assume that he's trying to tell me to quit my job. God, I hear you. No, I was kidding. Just kidding. No, I was kidding. No, for real. But I'm excited about this episode. I think that this is an important one to cover. I think that it's also important for me to recognize that maybe there's some tweaking that I need to do. Maybe I need to be more intentional. I feel like I'm already intentional with a lot of things that I do, but that's just really who I've become. So I'm thankful that I don't have a lot of tweaking to do, but there are some areas that I can do so. So as far as my past episodes, I think that this puts this all in a basket. So we've talked about healing, we've talked about mental health, we've talked about boundaries, we've talked about quite a few things. We've even talked about the military. When you put all that together, all of that is necessary to create a good legacy, right? There's not going to be, you don't want it to be a legacy of lying, a legacy of hurt, a legacy of just misguided. There's going to be times where you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where you're going, but what you portray, how you move, and I can't say this enough, how you treat people. It's when you think, and I have a really, I'm not getting sidetracked. This is on point. Just hear me out. I have a friend that I just met. I think I mentioned this maybe in episode 1 or 2, but either way, we've been friends now for almost 2 years. And this kind of person, the kind of person that she is, I don't believe that I've ever, and if you're listening, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe I've ever met anyone like her. From day one to day, whatever day we're on, and probably is going to continue, this person has never wavered. I have never gotten a feeling. I've never gotten a sneaky I've never gotten any of the feels, and y'all know what I'm talking about a bad friend. I have never, in the last 2 years that we've been friends, and we spend quite a bit of time together, and we talk quite often, I can't even imagine what her legacy is like. That is something to be so proud of. And she's older than me, but it takes work. It takes work, and she'll tell you it's not easy, because not everybody, in my words, I'm going to say, deserves to be treated like you treat people. But that's not for you to decide, right? You just treat people with kindness. Just treat them. It sounds so simple. Treat them how you want to be treated. That's absolutely true, but sometimes it can't be too much, because as humans, it's almost like you don't want to force it, right? But when you get to a space where you take them out of the equation and you're really doing it for you, that's where it becomes easy. That's where it's almost like second nature. I don't think I've ever smiled this much in my life. Literally, I've never smiled this much in my life. I've had people tell me, you're always smiling, and I'm like, Lord, if you only knew. If you only knew. It's just the reminders that you get daily. And I feel like sometimes we forget where we've come from, and that's not a bad thing, because we've worked so hard to get to where we are. We don't want to, the last episode, we don't want to forget our past. We don't always want to be reminded of our past either. So catch me where I'm at today. I don't need you to remind me of my anger then. I don't need you to remind me of how I mistreated you then. If you have not, and this sounds harsh, I'm thinking of it in my head, I have healed from it, and I've grown from it, and I've taken accountability from it on my part. I can't say the same for you if you haven't, but that is not to be casted on me because of what you haven't done. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, this is all my opinion, because the problem is that sometimes we focus so much on, we get stuck. You don't want to get stuck in what used to be, or what it used to look like, or how you used to treat people. Everybody has treated somebody the wrong way. I promise you. I don't know. The friend I was just talking about, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. She may have had her time or two. I don't know. I had to witness it to believe it. Everybody has a past. Everybody has a past that they're not proud of. Everybody has been somewhere where there's probably a lot of things said behind their back that are probably true. But where I'm at today, I want whatever said behind my back or in front of me, I want it to be, she really was a great friend, or she really truly loved the Lord. She really truly treated people with grace. She treated them with respect. I will always respect you. I think that if I even feel like I'm about to disrespect you, because it happens, we're not going to sit here and act like it doesn't happen. I'm not human enough to have emotions or to have feelings. I probably will walk away before I disrespect you. Or because I've grown to a point where I know myself, I could even talk myself through it to not disrespect you, and we either move on in that moment or I move out. So, and I think that that's good to know as well. I think it's good to know your body. It's good to know your triggers. It's good to know where you belong, where you don't belong. All of that is important. But I'm going to get back to I'm reeling it back in. So I think that when you think about legacy, like I said before, you instantly think about your kids. Instantly. What's in my will? What are they going to have? Money is great. Money is absolutely money, land, whatever you're leaving behind for them so that they can have something, or whatever you leave is great. I think that it's so much more important to, you don't want them to have, I don't really know how to word this. When you think about leaving your kids something, you really truly have to think of your everyday struggles, your everyday movements, your everyday, however you are encountering or attacking the day. That's what you really have to think about, because kids see it all. Kids see it all. As much as you try to hide it, as much as you try to shield them from it, I'm guilty of that. I'm very guilty of that. I think my daughter may have seen me cry once or twice in her whole life. And I just, in my mind, I was like, I'm shielding her from, I don't want her to have any kind of trauma like I did. I don't want her to have I don't want her to have to figure out something on my behalf, or to feel like, because kids feel, sometimes they feel responsible when it's not even, has nothing to do with them, but they'll try to take on your pain. And I felt like that is not something that I wanted for her. So regardless of if I was in pain or not, I would typically hide it. But I've been very honest over the last couple of years. If I'm up, great. If I'm down, great. And I'll let her know, hey, mom is just having a day today. Whether it be my health, whether it be me just not feeling it. It doesn't happen often where I have to really tell her it's one of those days, because I'm working to get to a point, and I'm still working. I think that I've made progress, but I want to get to a point where I don't have to go on my way to tell her that. I'm shaking back. I'm getting to a spot where this is something that I can control. There's gonna be days where you wake up. There's gonna be days where it doesn't seem like you've got it all figured out. There's gonna be days where you are exhausted, where it's like, how much more? But when you really just plant your feet, dig your feet there and truly trust. And let me say this before, you guys always know, I always say, this is my life. This is from my personal experiences, and this is how I currently live my life and will continue to. But when you truly put your faith in God, life is not a breeze. Life is not all figured out. I think that the peace that you have in knowing that it's out of your control. What's happening, he knew it was going to happen, and he knows it's happening, and he knows how you feel about it happening. But what you have to realize is that you're also going to make it to the other side of whatever's happening because of him, and you're going to make it in one piece, right? So the peace that you will have from that is unexplainable. And I've said this many times, and I will continue to say it, because that is how I truly feel. Peace that I have today, regardless of what I've been through in the past or what I've gone through recently or whatever the case may be, I don't even have the word for it. But y'all know. If you know, you know. So, but we're going to keep going. So now, reeling it back in, and I mentioned my kid as well, and this is a hard one. A lot of people don't like to talk about it. But when you think about leaving your legacy as well, you're thinking about you as a person. You not doing what people normally do, or, oh, in my family we always do this regardless. Who? No, I don't care. Don't care. Can't say it enough. I do not care if we've always done it this way. I don't care if they're family. I don't care if they're close friends. I do not care. I am breaking the curse today. Ben, it is not okay to continue with generational curses, generational trauma. Stop. Just no. We don't have to keep going because that's what's always been done over the generations. That makes no sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me, because the person that's looking at me is not looking at you. They're looking at me. The kid that I'm raising is looking at me. I'm not going to explain to them, oh, we did this. I went through this when I was growing up as a kid, so you'll be okay. It wasn't okay when I went through it as a kid. So why would it be okay for my kid to go through it now? No, it is okay to just stop it in the tracks. We're not doing that anymore. Respectfully. And if they have a problem, that sounds like a boundary to me, and I already told y'all what to do. Going on. It is what it is. There's no beef. We're just not doing that anymore. So we're stopping trauma. We're stopping when something is wrong. We're just not saying anything. We're stopping the silent treatments. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. If you don't have anything to say, just don't say anything. You don't have to have a conversation to explain why I'm about to stop talking to you. Just separate. It is okay to do so. It's okay to protect your peace. As long as you're not disrespectful with it, in my opinion, who cares? Who cares? I think sometimes that has to be done. Most times that has to be done, but people are so scared to do it because everybody has an opinion on how I'm supposed to feel, or how you're supposed to. How do you have an opinion on how I'm supposed to feel? I'm confused. I'm just confused. But either way, so I think that I'm like turned up. I'm not gonna lie. This conference really got me. I'm on the right path. I feel like I said, I can adjust some things, but I just feel like I'm on the right path. And that was so relieving to me, considering, right? So when you think about yourself and you're like, God, I have so much work to do. That's true. That's absolutely true. But to know that the decisions that you've made over the last year or two is really, you're writing your legacy daily. And the legacy that I've been writing recently, proud of, baby. Proud of it. Now, like I said, everybody's going to have their own opinion. Whatever your opinion was of me back when you knew me, you don't know me now. And I hate that for you, because I wish you knew me now. There are some people that I wish that were in my life still. I really do. Because this is a better version of myself. Now, does that mean that there's a better version of them and that we should reconnect? Doesn't always mean that. I think that's sometimes where we get confused. Oh God, I've worked on myself so hard. Let me reconnect with so-and-so. Because what you're going to learn about so-and-so is that they're still stuck where you left them 10 years ago. It's not a big deal. It does not, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. I've had so many people that we probably could have been really good friends, but neither one of us was ready. Either they were ready and I wasn't, or I was ready and they weren't. It doesn't, like, those relationships, it doesn't always have to be like a significant other. It happens with friends too. It happens with associates. It happens with work friends. It happens. It's a part of life. And it's one of those things that unfortunately you have to accept, because you can't dwell on it. Now, I truly believe that it's one of those, if it's meant to be, it absolutely will be. But I'm not going to force it. You don't want to force something and then it's not what it looked like, if that makes sense. But I'll leave that there. I think that this is the time where I'm supposed to tell you guys what I want to be remembered for. I think that, and so there are a lot of times, actually, I just had a coworker the other day. She was like, me and so-and-so was just talking about you. And I'm like, ugh. Instinct to be like, dang, was it good? I don't know what they was talking about. But in my mind, I already knew there's nothing about me that today, there's nothing, and that's me taking accountability. You see, there's nothing about me today for the last couple of years that I'm ashamed of. Let me take that back. I'm not ashamed of anything that I've done, because I've learned from it and I've grown. So a lot of things that I did, I was a hurt, traumatized adult trying to figure life out. Refuse to get help, refuse to heal, and I took it out on a lot of people. I take accountability. I'm absolutely going to take accountability. Can I say the same for everybody? No. Everybody's not in a space that I'm in. Everybody's not in a space to be like, dang, probably, no, I definitely messed up back then. But how can we move forward? Everybody's not there. And that's fine. But me, Nicola, baby, I got to take accountability and move forward, because I truly enjoy the people in my life. I don't want to take them for granted. And I feel like there's a lot of people that I have taken for granted in my life, and I had to stop that. So I feel like I want people to remember my heart. I want people to remember that if there was anything that I could do that wouldn't, I wouldn't say hinder me, but that wouldn't put me in an uncomfortable position, I absolutely will do it. Sometimes even if it does put me in an uncomfortable position, I will. If I feel like this person needs it. One of our lessons from Vacation Bible School, it pretty much was just saying, don't serve just the people that serve other people. You see someone struggling, or you see somebody literally calling out for help, try to help them in any way that you can. And don't be like, yeah, you know that I gave so-and-so $20 because she ain't had no money. Don't do that. Just do it, because it'll always come back. And you never know. You may have, that literally may have been the thing that you needed to do to help to motivate this person to keep going. If it wasn't, so what? You did what you were supposed to do. So I feel like I want to be remembered for that. I want to be seen as, I truly feel like I really treat people how I want to be treated. And I just want to be treated with respect and grace. God gives us grace daily. I don't feel like grace is given with people. I'm just the messenger. That's it. I'm just a messenger. And I guess, let me shoot this. I'm talking to myself too. I don't think we give people grace. I don't think that we give each other enough grace. And you can change that. You can fix that. But it's not easy. It's not easy. Sometimes as humans, we mistake grace for giving someone passes. I don't think that's what I'm saying. Give somebody grace because you may have been in their shoes once or twice before. You give somebody grace because you don't know what that story is behind what they're looking like today. Give them grace because you would want somebody to give you grace if you were ever in that position, or if you've been there. It's not always about, I would have never done that. I can't believe they did me like that. Now, don't get me wrong. You got about 1 or 2 times to disrespect me. But if you're struggling or there's something, I feel like there's a difference. As humans, you have to know how to talk to people. You just have to know how to treat people. And if you don't know how to treat people, ask, try to get help, try to adjust, try to look at how other people treat people. Seriously, I literally am not trying to be funny, because there are people that do not know how to treat people, being honest. And sometimes it's at no fault of their own. Now, what is their fault? Them not trying to fix it. It's not an excuse that you were never taught. It's an excuse that you didn't want to get the help to learn. And this is kids. Oh man, what did they say? Some things are caught, not taught. Oh! Some things are caught, not taught. What does that even mean, bro? What is that? Some things are caught, not taught. So caught means you watched it. You caught what was going on. You saw what was going on. You saw what was happening. Oh, so that's how we do it. Got it. That doesn't even make sense. But does it happen? Absolutely. There are a lot of things that, and I will say this, there are a lot of things that my kid has never caught from me. Caught from somewhere else. Was never taught it, but has it. There's a lot of things. She caught it from the middle school, maybe. She caught it from these kids, or she caught it from YouTube, or could have never been taught that. Could have never been. And I feel like that is where we have to give these people grace, because they're just doing what they think is right. They're just doing what they think looks right. They're just doing what unfortunately, this generation sometimes makes it look like it's okay. Treat people with respect, bro. Treat people how you want to be treated. Treat people like human beings. Human beings come with emotions. Human beings feel most. Most human beings feel. It's simple, but then it's not. It's hard. It's hard. And then it's also hard to not treat people how they treat you. Because listen, that is gross. Do not think for 1 minute that I don't struggle with that daily. The amount of sarcasm or you want to take a dig at me, I promise you that I done already dug it. And it's on the tip of my tongue. But however, I got to draw it back. Because what's the point? What's the point? It doesn't make me weak. It doesn't make me less than. It just means that I'm stronger than you. Because you have to take a dig at me to make yourself feel better. Me, on the other hand, I'm good. I'm good, I promise you. There's only one person that I have to impress. That's it. So, I'm reeling it back in. I'm reeling it back in. I said a lot. I said all that to say, work on you today. Work on you daily. Work on the legacy that you want to leave behind. Work on all of that. Yes, you need a will. Absolutely. Yes, you need life insurance. Absolutely. You also need to leave just ways of living. Leave ways of treating people. Leave ways of doing good. It's always good to help people. And it's not, you don't have to help people and be like, all right, I did this. Hello. Just help people. Don't nobody have to know. Nobody has to know but you and God. That's it. And trust me, he knows. He knows if I'm doing this because I know that no, just do it just to help people. Because sometimes you might need help and you don't even know it. And there's going to be that person that's going to be right there doing exactly what you should be doing. And you get the help that you didn't think that you needed. That to me is simple. Just be nice to people. But your legacy is important. I think that I've said enough. I think that, I don't know, I feel like I could go more into depth about this one. But it's okay. I think I'm at 30 minutes. So it's okay. We just have to remember that it's not always about what it looks like, right? It's kind of almost like you're missing it. So when people the people that you interact with daily, that you talk to daily, it's about them, but it's also about the people on the outside. So the people that you interact with daily, they've talked about you a few times with other people. Don't let it be I can't get with that. No, it'd be, oh no, I know her, or oh no, I've seen her before. She's always, that's what I want. Her kid is so sweet. That's what I want. Now, I done told y'all don't know baby D, but let me just explain. There's sometimes where choices are made that I can't control. I can adjust it once the choice is made. That's the only thing that I can do. It's the only thing that I can do. But I would never back down from showing her or them, 3 kids, showing them the right way to go, showing them the right thing to do, really just trying to make a difference. And that's really what it is. A lot of our kids just need guidance. They just need guidance. And a lot of that is missing sometimes. Sometimes it's missing from the household, and that's where it starts. So, but either way, that's all I got. I'm turned up. I'm finna rest. I'm finna eat. And I just hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I was a little up and down today, but it's okay. It's okay, because I think I somewhat stayed on topic. But thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate the support. Check out episodes 1 through 6 before you reach 7, or you can do them out of order. It don't matter. As long as you're listening, you got any questions, hit me up. I'm here. And I will see you, Lord's willing, next Monday. Same time, same place.